of these questions, why is the sky blue? And that's to do with Rayleigh scattering and how our eyes perceive color. And I'll start by explaining what Rayleigh scattering is. It was first described by Lord Rayleigh of the United Kingdom in 1871. And he says that when light passes through a medium constituted of particles with length less than 1/10 the wavelength of the light, then the light is scattered in all directions. And the intensity, the degree of scattering, is to the inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. What this means is that the shorter the wavelength of light, the greater the scattering is. So it will go scattering in all directions. Now, the sunlight that enters the Earth into the atmosphere, although it looks white, is actually constituted of a rainbow of colors, as shown by Isaac Newton's famous prism experiment. And this rainbow of colors range from red-orange spectrum at around 620 nanometers to the blue-violet spectrum at around 450 nanometers. The medium that the light passes through is air, which is mainly constituted of nitrogen and oxygen molecules, whose length diameters are about 0.3 nanometers, which means that the particles are 1/1000th the length of the wavelength of light. So, of course, Rayleigh scattering will occur. Now, remember that Rayleigh scattering is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. So that the blue spectrum that's at around 450 nanometers will be scattered more intensely compared to the red and orange and other spectrums. So when you look towards the sky, unless you're unadvisedly looking towards the sun, the sky around you, filled with the scattered light, is blue. What's that? Why isn't it violet? Yeah. Violet spectrum has actually a smaller, shorter wavelength than blue spectrum. So, if you think about it, why is the sky a royal purple? That's because of the way our eyes perceive color. Our eyes perceive color at a different strength according to the wavelength of light. Now, the peak response for the shorter wavelengths of light that we can perceive is at around 442 nanometers, which is towards the blue spectrum. So, just like we can't see X-rays, or we can't see infrared rays, we can't see the sky as violet. And so that's why when you look up towards the sky is blue. Thank you.